Your mind is a garden. In this video, I'm going to talk about the concept of treating your mind like a garden and why it's actually going to be very beneficial to your growth as an individual, because it's something that I learned early last year through reading a certain book, which I'll tell you later on in the video. And since I've applied this concept to my mind and to my thoughts, my way of thinking has completely changed. I've been able to limit a lot of negative thoughts from my general day-to-day life, and it's been a very beneficial thing that I've implemented into my life that I think every person watching this video also needs to do. So I want to start by saying, imagine yourself as a gardener. Let's say you're a gardener. This is you down here in 50 years time, and your number one goal is to build the most beautiful garden known to man. You want to have all the little tulips, all the roses, what are some other flowers, I don't know but that many, daffodils, orchids, I don't know any other flowers to be honest, but let's say your number one goal is to build the most beautiful garden known to man. That was your life's mission. Every single day you wake up, you're like, boom, I'm going to work on my garden today. The only thing you care about is building the most beautiful, aesthetic garden known to man. And as soon as you started seeing some bad things grow, like thorns or vines or whatever, would you allow it to ruin your garden? Would you allow them to continue to grow? Would you let them be present in your garden if your garden, you know, the goal for the garden was to make it as beautiful as possible? No, you wouldn't. You get rid of them as soon as you can, because it doesn't correlate with your goal of creating the most beautiful flower garden known to fucking man. You need to apply the same concept to your thoughts. So the negative thoughts are obviously the bad plants that are growing, the bad plants that you don't want, and then the positive thoughts are obviously the beautiful plants in your garden. So just by you applying this concept already, you're already going to feel like you have more control over your mind, because you're like, I'm the gardener of my own mind. And a lot of people nowadays let their mind control them. That's why I think we have quite a lot of mental health issues. And I think it's quite a bad thing, because a lot of people are not taught how to control their mind. It's a very negative thing, because it can lead you down a very, very bad path. So the negative thoughts are the bad plants that are growing. As soon as you start seeing these negative thoughts pop up, you need to completely eradicate them as fast as you can. And you need to foster and give energy to the positive thoughts, because what you give energy to will grow. The more your main focuses that are on your mind, the main things that you're giving energy to, will be brought back to you. I don't know if you guys have learned about the law of attraction, if you've read The Secret and all those different books, Think and Grow Rich and stuff like that. All of these books say, and I know this is true because I've applied to my own life the last year, what you give energy to will continue to come back more. Because if you're giving negative feelings to things, you're giving energy to negative thoughts, and you're entertaining all these negative thoughts, and then the main things on your mind 24/7, your brain is like, okay, this is what he's giving energy to, this is what we're going to give more back to him. So if you can able to eradicate these negative thoughts, nip them in the bud straight away as soon as you see them arising, popping up or whatever, whether that comes through, you know, limiting beliefs, procrastination, whatever it is, you need to get rid of these as fast as possible. And that's why you can get into quite bad downward spirals. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a master at this. I'm not a master. I had quite a bad downward spiral towards the end of the year, where I had quite a big financial loss, and then another thing happened and another thing happened. But I analysed it, and I was like, I was giving energy to all of these things. I already knew the concept, and it can be quite hard. This is like a lifelong skill. You're not going to be able to learn this in a month. It's not going to take a year. I'm talking years and years and years. I'm just scratching the surface with this, but I understand how important it is, because I've seen the positive side of it and the negative side of it. It's a constant sort of learning process. You're not going to learn it straight away. I'm still learning about it, but I want people to be aware of it at least. I'm not going to be able to fucking teach you how to be a master at it, but I'm able to give you actionable steps to be aware of it and how I've actually used this concept to improve my own life. So what are some actionable steps you can actually put in place to apply the concept of treating your mind like a garden and use your mind to your benefit and not your detriment? The first thing you need to understand is your mind is going to be your worst enemy. The thing that holds us back in the most is not our parents, it's not our girlfriend, it's not our friends, it's not our family. It's actually going to be your own brain. Your own brain is going to betray you more than anyone else or anything else in this world. It's an evolutionary thing. I spoke about this on one of my presentation calls in my community. Basically, obviously, back in the day, back just only a couple hundred thousand million years ago or some bullshit, I don't know. But anyway, our brain always wants to keep us safe from like predators and stuff like that. So when we're scanning surrounding areas or doing certain things, our brain's going to put us in fight or flight mode. It's exactly the same now. So our brain's always going to teach us how to procrastinate, to have these limiting thoughts and not believe in ourselves, because it's scary. Whatever risks you want to take or whatever things you're going through right now, your brain's always going to want you to take the easier option. So that's why you get these limiting beliefs. That's why you get bad thoughts. That's why you get procrastination. Your mind is going to be your worst enemy. So as soon as you understand that, when your brain starts telling you something or your mind starts telling you something, you can be like, I understand that my brain is my worst enemy. I need to do the actions to what I think is better, not what my brain thinks is going to be good for me. The second thing you can do is gratitude journal. So just simply sitting down every single morning, writing 5 things you're grateful about, 10 things you're grateful about in detail, not just saying I'm grateful I'm alive. Like, I'm grateful I'm alive so I can, for me personally today, I can provide value through the videos I'm posting. I can check in on my family members. I can improve myself. I can make a dent in the world. I can, I don't know, be polite to the people at the store today. Whatever it is, there's so many different things you can be grateful for, because a lot of people will focus on the things that they're not grateful for, the things that they don't have. But I think sometimes people need to realize that there's actually more things you can be grateful about than things you can be ungrateful about. I can tell you that now. So I can sit here and say I'm grateful that I have hair. I'm not fucking bald. And I've got cool hair, I've got wavy hair, I can hear, I can see, I can speak, I've got a mic, I've got a desk, I've got a chair, I've got this bottle of water here, I've got my heatings on right now, I've got clothes on my back. There's so many different things you could be grateful for, and you need to understand that. And then obviously if you're giving energy to things that you are grateful about, that's a positive thought. Therefore you're going to get more positive things back from the universe or from God or whatever, because you're showing gratitude for those things. I also think you should listen to Think and Grow Rich or read it. I don't really care. I'm currently listening to it a second time. But he actually emphasizes that you need to basically write down your goals. This is for people that have limiting beliefs or procrastination. You need to write down your goals in a massive paragraph. You can use a ChatGPT prompt or whatever. I'm actually going to put a ChatGPT prompt down in the description if you do want to do this. But basically every single morning and every single night before bed, you're going to read this paragraph about, what you want to achieve. And it's basically going to be a description as if you've already achieved it. So you're going to put yourself in a position where you're really feeling the emotions like you've achieved this goal. You've got this goal already. And you're going to put some visualization in there. You're going to put some emotions in there. And if you're someone that struggles with limiting beliefs and procrastination, and you're like, oh, is my goal, am I ever going to reach my goals or whatever? By reading this every single morning and every single night, you're instantly going to eradicate 90% of those limiting beliefs, because your brain can't decipher whether what you're reading and what you're speaking out every single morning, because you have to speak this out, you have to speak it. When you're saying these out loud in the morning, like, I've hit 5k in my business, I've hit 10,000 YouTube subscribers, I'm living in Southeast Asia, I'm living in Thailand on a beach, I've got nice women next to me, whatever it is. When you're speaking this out, your brain doesn't know whether this is real or false. It doesn't know if it's real or fake. It doesn't know. So by you speaking it out, your brain's like, oh shit, this is real. And then therefore you're going to get results, and you're going to get ideas, and you're going to get inspired action due to the fact that you're speaking this out and you're visualizing it. And you need to cut out negative thoughts straight away. It's meant to say it's meant to have an S there, so sorry. But you're meant to cut out negative thoughts straight away. This is obviously a skill that you need to learn. It's not going to be as hard. It's not going to be easy to do it at the start. But as you learn this skill, the skill of mastering the mind, it's going to get a lot easier. And I think just being aware that obviously your mind is your worst enemy, and that these negative thoughts, if they're given energy, continue to grow, I think it's going to be a lot easier for you to cut them out, because you're like, this is going to do nothing for me, this is not beneficial for me, so I'm going to eradicate it straight away. And you need to read these books. The first one is As a Man Thinketh. This whole concept came from the book As a Man Thinketh. This is how I got the concept. I read this in February of 2024, so last year. And honestly, what an absolutely amazing book. It's quite a short read. It's like 150 pages, I think. And it's quite an easily readable book. I was reading about 10 pages, just simply because I wanted to digest the knowledge. It's such a mind activating book. It's a very beautiful book. This is a book that I'll give to my kids, my grandsons, my nephews or whatever, because it is an unbelievable book. Then we have The Magic of Thinking Big, also another book. I actually gave this book to one of my clients and he absolutely loves it. He struggled with like limiting beliefs and negative self-talk, but he's read this book, and he's completely changed everything about his negative self-talk. Obviously, he still gets them sometimes or whatever, but it's nowhere near as much. He knows how to tackle them when they do arise. Then we have The Secret as well. So I obviously said about what you give energy to, it comes back. This is the Law of Attraction by, it speaks about the Law of Attraction by Rhonda Bryan. And honestly, this changed my concept of like what I was giving energy to. So now I understand that obviously if I want to do better in business, if I want to be better in certain aspects, whatever, I need to give energy to positive thoughts about that thing if I do want to grow in those areas. So make sure you apply those things. A lot of people seem to think that the mind is like this uncontrollable beast that can't be tamed. I disagree. Controlling the brain and controlling the mind, controlling your thoughts and analyzing your thoughts is a skill. And if you learn it now, it's going to be much beneficial for you in the future, because I think nowadays, like with social media and all these crazy things that are going on in the world and all this information we're digesting, we don't actually ever learn the skill of controlling the mind. So I absolutely think this is a necessary skill for every young man. Of course, I'm not an expert in it, but I would say I am more knowledgeable than most people because I simply have learned this skill the last year and I've given a lot of energy to it. And most of the books I am reading at this current moment are all correlated to this one topic, and I have seen a lot of different benefits from doing this. Of course, like even when I had a little downward spiral towards the end of the year, me being aware of the fact that I was like, right, I'm giving too much energy to these negative thoughts, I'm giving too much, giving too much thought to these things. Just being able to be aware of these things is very, very beneficial. So I think everyone needs to learn the skill of controlling the mind. So make sure you take action on that. If you want to transform yourself in all areas of life, you want to get better physically, you want to improve yourself financially, and you do want to improve yourself mentally, then check out my school community link down below. I have so many different courses. There's a self-improvement course. I also have a Conquer Lust course if you're addicted to pornography. We also have a bodybuilding course coming out soon, and so many different financial courses. TikTok shop course, how I've been able to generate over 30 grand over the last year with TikTok shop, and so many other financial courses in there. We have 2 calls a week, an accountability call and a Q&A call, where I can help you overcome any issues that you're struggling with on your self-improvement journey, and an accountability call where I keep you accountable to your goals and make sure you're doing what you need to do to actually get to where you want to be. So if you're interested in that, go and click the link down below. But boys, I hope this video has been valuable to you. Like always, make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it. Sub to the channel for more. Follow me on Instagram for more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.